Hello fellow adventurers and collectors, Filmaholic here, and the designer toy-a-thon has continued. I was very lucky and fortunate to come across various designer toys at great prices recently, so I was able to catch another one of my artists that I like. So with this one, this is designed by Trickyman12. He is mostly known for his clothing sets, but he also does have some head sculpts, and those are a lot harder to come by, and admittedly, they're a lot more expensive based off the clothes and the tailoring that goes behind them alone. So I was fortunate enough to catch this listing. I highly doubt this was actually the clothing that he came with, except for the shoes. But we'll get to that when we get there. But like I said, the deals are out there. You just have to be vigilant and keep an eye on what is being listed, because I think this wasn't even listed under Trickyman12. I think this was just under some generic 1/6 figure. And you know, if there's one tip that I can give for looking for these designer toys, is just have the broadest terms out there on your saved searches, because that's how I often find these. You know, sometimes sellers just don't know what they have, but here he is and what he came with. Again, I don't think this is the clothing set he originally came with, because a lot of the stuff that Trickyman12 is known for is like Champion, sportswear, that type of thing. So if this is, feel free to let me know, but there's not much in the way of information out there. So yeah. Again, mainly the thing that I got this listing for was the head sculpt. You know, I planned on changing the body itself, but I am extremely astonished by the tailoring behind the shoes, and I'll definitely showcase that later. But here's a look at that head sculpt. Definitely reminds me of Michael Lau, if you're familiar with his work, but it's a very simplistic look. And again, those shoes are phenomenal. You know, it's just insane to think that they're at 1/6 scale. They're New Balance shoes if you're a sneakerhead. But yeah. Again, I bought this with the intent of customizing him myself, so a lot of this clothes would probably go to a good friend of mine, and I know he'll put some good use to it. But yeah, something I noticed when I took the figure apart is that this figure had these I'm not too sure, I guess you would call them spacers or washers, but not too sure what it is. But I was glad to see that it was a Damn Toys body or a runoff of it. But again, you can see the stylized look, and even goes down to the hands. So I'm curious as to what the story was behind this, whether the seller had bought this, modified it himself, and then just moved it on, but I don't know. Again, look at these shoes. I'm just astonished with how well made they are, and even the body itself seems a lot more sturdier than the typical Damn Toys body that I have, but I don't know, that just might be a one-off thing. And again, here's a look at the head sculpt. I know you're able to modify the hair by swapping out this piece here, but of course, since I didn't get this new, I don't have any of those pieces. But again, it's a cool idea, a cool concept to have, and definitely one that I'm looking towards when it comes to designing my own figures. But here is how I decided to modify him myself. You know me, I'm more of the tactical military kind of guy, so I leaned heavily towards that. And if you've watched my previous video, I'm pretty sure you're familiar with this uniform, with this style. So out of this figure, I definitely am looking more towards those spacers for the legs, because it definitely fills them out more, and I'm pretty sure you can get those at like Home Depot or, you know, Menards. So again, here's the final look for him, and I really do like it. It seems casual and seems like a journalism kind of look, very lean in terms of armor and stuff like that. But again, if you look into Trickyman12, he doesn't have any of this. It's more so like sportswear, Champion, and the sort. So be aware of that if that's something you're looking into later down the line. But again, fantastic figure, fantastic head sculpt. The only thing I wish was different was that the details in the face were actually sculpted, but I guess that's part of the aesthetic that he has. But it's something that will grow on me, for sure. But again, the main thing that pushes this over the threshold in terms of price is the tailoring when it comes to the shoes and the clothing, because a lot of it is one-off stuff that isn't being produced by everyone else, so I'm not too sure the details behind it, but suffice to say, I can imagine it being very expensive to kind of produce these on your own in the independent scale, so that kind of pushes that price up, unfortunately. So yeah, I'm very fortunate and glad that I was able to find this the way I did, because I was going to modify it anyway, so I was happy to pay the price that I did. So hopefully this opens up your eyes to what is out there, and you know, the ideas can come through in your projects. So with that said, I appreciate you guys checking this video out, and if you feel so inclined, please like, comment, and or subscribe. I'd very much appreciate it. I'll catch you all next time.